look at it, it's very simple in its design, yet very, very meaningful. When you see the 5 services represented, and then Rich's design, the cutouts, meaning that these soldiers are not here, they're somewhere else. One of the things that when Rich and I started talking about this about 2 years ago that we wanted to achieve is we didn't want it to be something that held the soldiers down, that rose them up to the beyond. And something that simply stated their work, their achievement, what they did for our country. And I'm really not going to attempt to go into too much as to what the memorial might mean to you and me. The old man here could be a veteran himself. He could be the general public saluting the contributions that all of these people have made. I think that he'll mean different things to different people. Another way to view this is to look from the soldier's point of view back to how that soldier or that sailor, that Marine is being viewed by the public or by other veterans. So I'll ask Rich to come up in just a second and tell you a little bit more. But in its simplicity of design, it's complicated by its very nature. And one thing I would like for you to notice is that if you stand between the gentleman and the Army person, that's in direct line to the headquarters at Fort Knox. Also, when you come up, if you look as you walk down the walkway here, you'll notice that the flag, the original, if you remember the original version of this, had a flag for each one of the services here. Well, actually turned out much better. Again, simplicity in design, that the flag, the main flag over here centers on this memorial when you walk down the sidewalk here. Also, when you walk up, you don't see the entire memorial. You only see the soldiers. You don't see the old gentleman here saluting the soldiers. So it gradually reveals itself to you. So I think that if we look back on what we've done something here that will far outlast every one of us here. We've done something here that is meaningful. It means something, you know? There's a lot of things that you do in your life that they might mean something for a minute or two or for a day or two. This is going to be meaningful for a long time. I know it means something to me, you know? And I know it means something to a lot of others here. And it's going to mean something to other people who are honoring people who were passed on here. They're going to stop here. There will be other people who will stop and leave mementos here, honoring their own relatives. So it's not going to be just meaningful to only us. It's something that's meaningful for this entire community. It's something that you've done that's very special. And I appreciate it. I know others appreciate it. So if you really want to walk away with something today, you know, none of this is in my script. If you really want to walk with something today, walk away with something today, think, especially the board, you've done something meaningful here. It means something. And it'll mean something different to everybody, but it's meaningful. It's going to be long lasting. So, Rich, would you come up and give us a few words? Appreciate his efforts here. He's done a great job. Let's give him a great hand.
My business card for years has always said I'm a visual artist, and the reason it says that is I always want to point out to people that I'm not a verbal person. So it's a little hard for me to get up here and express myself. I do much better visually. All I really wanted to say was that it's been a great experience. Bill and I originally talked about this a good 2 years ago, and to see it all come together and actually come together quite smoothly was really exciting. And I think Bill touched really on all the implications of the design. The thing that struck me as I was developing it was the interpretation of the old man, as we call him, because you really could look at him both as a civilian, thanking those who have given their life for the country and for their freedom, and you can look at him as a veteran who's thanking the people he once were partners with, so to speak. So that really intrigued me. In fact, somebody asked me lately, when you designed it, how were you thinking of him? And I couldn't remember which way it went. So I guess it worked on many levels. But really, I thank you tremendously for making this come together. It's just been very, very exciting, and I thank you very much.
I appreciate what you've done here, and you have done something very, very meaningful, something simple. And if you think about a soldier's life, whether it's a sailor or Coast Guard, Marine, it's a very simple life. It's there's not a lot of glory around it, but nevertheless, the sacrifices made so that we could stand here today in our wonderful country that we have, and live our lives out successfully and happily with our family.